games, they're looking at you as commanders, as the ones who are going to be making the choices for this battle. Like they're definitely looking to you. So each of you will have up to a CR 14, so 14 levels, however you want to split them, worth of units or war machines to command in the battle. The other half of this exercise will be determining what the other units are doing and how you guys are going to attack the city. If you guys, like I said, you guys can work together and all do the same thing. If one of you wants to do some black ops stuff and go around the other way, because there's two factions, aside from the three Mardu factions, there's the Sisters of Hate and the Forge Makers. The Sisters of Hate and the Forge Makers are already inside Illtread Bay, but through your actions up to this moment previously, you have won them to your side. So they will fight for you when the fighting starts. But until then, they're laying low and acting like everything's cool and gathering intel for you all. So some of this too is you guys going to be doing knowledge checks and intel rolls to get information about what's inside the city, like what you're going to be facing against. So the first thing you guys probably want to do is look through these factions and their units as ideas of what you have standing in front of you when you show up. Um, so you've got the Herodrum here on the right, the Tan. They like spears and the Wakazashis. They also have the War Elephants. The middle group here is the Black Dragons. They use katanas and lots of bows, and they're more of the sneaky rogue type units, and they also have big ass cannons.
How many points is a war elephant?
I think they're just around 14. Like it's almost all of your points to get one of those, but it would probably have a unit or two as a crew. And then you have the Easterlings over here, and they're the red ones. And they're more about the no Odachi for like big long swords. They also have a lot of different things like harpoon guns and trebuchets and like different war drum, like bard type things. Like they'll boost the whole army kind of thing. And then so yeah, the Forge Masters, they have the gladiators that you can work with if you wanted to start your fight like from the inside of the city, like working with them, like dismantling the gates or something from the inside.
So off of Turs, 14 level 1 little gladiators could come off like, the things on Cloverfield.
Or like fucking what's his name? Shockwave from Transformers. Well, he like his chest opens and like all the little cassette tapes come out that are fucking
Like a clown car.
yeah, like a clown car.
Cloud car, yeah.
Anyway, so that's the scenario you guys are walking into when you get back. That's why I wanted to tell you this, show you this, and let you at least like, digest it, look at it, think about it before you decide what you're going to sell from the loot you're bringing back and then what you want to buy. So I figured having this information up front is going to help you make some better decisions.
Quick question. So
Go ahead.
you said we get a certain amount of points, and then each unit has, say this unit has 1 point versus this unit that the elephant that has 14.
So
Is there a list that we can go off of, or is this all in like are we getting this information from the book, like, or is there a set like list that we can grab our units from?
okay, so all right. Basically, there's nothing really set in stone exactly here. Some of this we're gonna have to like create, if you will. So, for instance, if you wanted to command infantry, okay, and you're like, okay, I want some infantry soldiers. You'd have 14 levels worth of soldiers, so you could have 2 level 7 soldiers come with you, or you could have 7 level 2 soldiers or 14 level 1 soldiers. Or you could have, let's say, a cannon, and then by how much damage and how big of a cannon you want, that would determine how many like levels that takes up, and then you could have some left over for a crew that would man it, or whatever, however you want to do it. If you wanted infantry or whatever, what you need to think about is like, what kind of a squad would your character, if
Yeah.
he walked up to a whole army, you know what I mean, they were told like, you need to handpick your squad. Like, so some of your decision making needs to be based on your charisma score. So if you have a very high charisma, you would probably go for commanding units. Whereas if you had a very low charisma, you would probably more go towards commanding war machines, trebuchets, cannons, you know what I mean, or just dumb infantry. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what your character, and that's up to you. What
Well,
your
there goes my
character
harem.
what? But yeah. So anyway, you guys get to kind of decide what your character, what kind of a squad it would like bring into this battle as its support. And
All right,
then
cool. Yeah, I just didn't know if there's like because like you said, I could bring either like 2 level 7s or like 14 level 1s. I didn't know if there was like a list we were supposed to be going off
I
of or
mean, this
something.
is a massive army, so you have a lot of choices. So anything, what I'm putting in front of you is to give you guys a flavor and a feel of what the factions you're fighting next to, what this battle would look like shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean? Just so you have an idea of how you want to set this up, like what kind of units would be at your disposal. So like, try not to think of anything like completely way outside the box that wouldn't make sense in line with something here,
Yeah.
like,
No, I already
I
have
want
an
a bunch of
idea.
alligators with funny hats. Like, that doesn't quite fit the theme here,
I've got a good idea, but I want to throw a scenario at you.
Okay.
Okay, say I want 2 level 7 archers that can do concealment and the rest of it in accuracy of some kind. How do I go about that?
Well, we would just pull up like the ranger class, and we would just make all base decisions. You know what I mean? We'd roll up 2 rangers really quick, or a lot of this, you just need to tell me I want 2 level 7 rangers, and then I'm going to do all the hard work in the background because I can make characters fast. So a lot of them are going to be pretty generic decisions, but I'm going to make them good. They're not going to be shitty units.
Sounds awesome.
If you want to customize them yourself and do all of that, I am more than willing to let you guys do that. I don't care. But I can make characters extremely fast, get you the base stats that you need to make it work, and we can move forward that way as well. So it's up to you.
All right, sounds good. I already know I want to go for like a shadowy infiltration team.
Okay, that's Black Dragon, middle group. So some of you guys might want to work together, and some of you guys might want to work apart from each other too. So if Norb, is doing a bunch of like stealth archers, you might want to pair up with him, and you
Oh
guys
no,
could
me and
wreck
Norb
some
are
shit.
already a group.
Oh, okay.
No, just kidding.
It'll work.
Operation
So
Blackwall.
That's that rogue thing,
That's that rogue thing.
Yeah, we both got it.
so yeah, I wanted to let you guys brainstorm on this because it's kind of going to be a big decision. This battle is most likely going to span over multiple sessions, so planning it out, thinking about it ahead of time, and talking it through with each other is going to be important. So with that said, I'll shut up and let you guys talk.
All right, I'm gonna need a lot of turtles, some parachutes, and some good old-fashioned 1948 music and a catapult.
And one goat.
And if I can't use turtles, then I'd like to go to the orphanage and then find a magician and get them transformed into said turtles and then launch them out of a catapult.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Some baby turtles flying.
That'll be Operation Ernest Goes to Camp.
Trebuchet.
I remember that.
Trebuchet, exploding turtles. Don't forget this is D&D. Get regenerating exploding turtles.
That's right, they're mutated turtles. Snapping turtles.
Every time they explode, they just split into two smaller ones that explode and then split into two smaller ones until they get down to 1 hit point.
Does snapper melee range.
There's no turtles, okay? I'm sorry. I wish there were, but there's not, unless you want to convince Vex to go look for some.
What about redheaded what about redheaded albino stepchildren?
This guy.
I mean, I'm sure there's an orphanage somewhere.
Here's
Nice.
either way.
And they're going to infiltrate the opposing army the night before.
Who would be the kamikaze?
I mean, what's Gaz gonna do? He's already got armies.
Yeah, this is just gonna. I'm scared about what he's
Gaz is
gonna
already
do.
a commander.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a little worried about that.
Basically, he could actually inherit or get from this deal like 3 or 4 captains for his guys, and
Just when nobody's looking, slit their throat at the end of the battle. Like, I don't know what happened. They must have gotten killed. I'll just go ahead and raise them for. Oh, look, I have an army.
That's funny.
It's all right. Phil, no one liked Phil anyway.
Who are the kamikaze soldiers?
2 level 7s he calls the Undertakers, and they just raise dead. That's all they do.
I mean, the red guys would be more of your would have some of your more berserker types. It wouldn't necessarily any of them are kamikazes because they all train very hard to be skilled, you know, or they're
Okay.
in training. Like, they're not a sacrificial type. Now the black dragons, they're not so much into like the necromancy, you know, as they are just evil and stealth. But
So
that
bring your
doesn't
own,
mean they won't work
basically.
with you. Well, I mean, you can also, if they happen to die and you command them to do things that are very risky and put them in a threatening situation, it just so happened they died. You know, it is what it is.
Vex, what are you thinking on this? Or are you going to surprise us?
He's bringing his wolves.
Got his own army too. Yeah. He's the king of the animal kingdom.
Actually, I'm probably going to use 2 level 7 Sisters of Hate with venereal diseases. They're going to go the night before and infiltrate the opposing army.
What do they do?
I was just about to say we could use the Sisters of
God.
Hate to.
Holy smokes. Run that. No, please. I want to hear that, Skaz, but run that by me again, Vex. That sound. I think I missed some of the evil in that. They can carry disease or something.
No, 2 level 7 Sisters of Hate with venereal diseases, and they'll go in the night before and infiltrate the opposing army.
Here you go.
Operation Hate Wall.
Now we can do a night before the battle scenario where if you guys do have like prep things or like you want to do, you can.
Nice. I was just going to put together kind of a crack archery team, but boy, maybe I'm not as sophisticated as you guys are on this. I want to know what Turs is going to do, though. I really do.
Oh, you don't know how to know what I'm gonna do.
Yes, I do.
It's like Warhammer 40k. It's like, oh, look at that. 50 turns later, it's only been 12 hours.
It will be slow, I'm not gonna lie, but when it is your turn, you're gonna have a lot of fun shit you can do. So I mean, it's gonna be
The only real thing that I need to know is like how many frontline defense, like robots and slash paladins we may have, and then how many of them can use like, I would say like wind wall or something.
They're not. None of them are so much artificers in the fact that they make robots. The closest thing you'd have is the forge maker. He would be able to make paladin armor, or perhaps some construct things, but probably not too much in time. He would the paladin armor side of it, definitely.
I don't mean like paladin armor. I mean like armor based units. Like standard tank, like paladin slash tanks or robot slash tanks.
Oh, okay. That would be the forge master. They would take the war machines that are already inside the city and then turn them against their own units, basically. Like the Rakdos, from what you guys do know, that's common knowledge, it was they had those hell cannons sitting on the ramparts. So there was hell cannons, and then one type of war machine that you could potentially, take gladiator units and, take over one of those machines and start using it from inside the city.
What about when my character went into I guess the bar, like looking around, trying to find an audience with the captain? Could he recall any of that information to give like a report of like what he saw in there, what type of units?
Mm-hmm.
Saw a whole bunch of seamen.
So you guys can, I'll give you some dice so you can do knowledge checks. But what is common knowledge is that you guys know they had dragonkin guards. They were large sized units that were carrying axes and stuff. They were like the main front guards, like the big bullies that are standing at the front gate. Then you had hell cannons sitting on the ramparts of the walls, and then you had ballistas on the towers inside the gates, and then you have on the mountainside here on top of the lava tubes. So over here, this black elevated side is that whole underground there is the lava tubes that you guys went into. But that whole side got shut down when you guys did that. So there's no more, it's not hot like it was on that side. It's like all cold rock now. But the tunnels are still there.
Well, whiskey, we can't see any of those things.
No, I know it's all just flat ground, right?
Oh, okay.
No, I know. I had to remake this whole map because you guys couldn't load into it before. So I'm using this just like I said, a battle map. But basically, here's where the lava tubes are. Or there's this whole side.
Speaking of holes, can we do some rolling to see if there are any level 7 Sisters of Hate that are willing to be glory holes that have venereal diseases?
I mean, they're the ones that are like against
Man.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So I mean, them in there and actually diseasing the enemy army would be kind of a good thing for them.
I mean, they would be willing to like potentially do that, but they wouldn't like purposely contract something like that themselves. They would use a scroll, a potion, you know what I mean, or poison them. But
Or
they
cure
would be
disease.
willing to help you. They would be willing to help you in that regard.
I mean, I can spell slot a cure disease spell if they're really worried about it.
I'm a doctor. Okay.
Just talking about if there's like 2 level 7s that already have like this deadly disease that if they have sex with people, they die like within a week.
Yeah, I mean, we could look in the Book of Vile Darkness. I would start there.
Doable, and there are spells that'll do it.
There's stuff like that, yeah.
There's a spell called disease. So
Yeah. But hey, I'll be right back. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna do some dinner stuff, but so I'll be back here a little bit.
But we need to have 2 that were willing to have sex with the entire army.
An arcane
Come
tantric.
back for those two.
in any group, there's always a couple.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, we're just looking at a battle map. He's giving us a forewarning. All we need to, we need to do is we're going to get some companions, and it's called a CR-14. So we can have anywhere from 2 level 7s to 1 level 14 to 14 level 1s with us, and we're gonna get into a fight next time. He's showing us the battle map right now, and letting us think about what we want. You know, like me, I think I want 2 level 7 rangers of similar skill to me, not 14 level 1s. But everybody's got that choice to make. If that makes sense here. He'll explain it again, and I know he'll explain it before we do it next time.
Yeah, I still think that Bee Queen might have been a good ally if we could have met her.
That's all right. I got secret weapons that are ready to do the job.
Yeah, and I skilled up, so I can absorb. I can get third level spells now. Things are looking a lot better. So I've just got to upgrade some skills and base attack and all that tonight, and I'm good to go. Once he puts up the old table, I'll skill up my guy, and then I'll get out of everybody's way because you guys have probably got questions for him and stuff because you guys have some of you guys have some really complicated characters.
Oh, my setup is easy. I just have to know what you guys are all picking because if I'm probably gonna go frontline defense. So it's either I gotta make a whole bunch of big units or I gotta make a whole bunch of nice even units to cover.
I think I'm going to do 2 level 7 ranger types. I think because that'll and that to me that's those are ranged units, and that's all 3 of us. Howdy. Hey, Sebs.
Hey, you're gonna get some rain coming your way.
It's just fine. It's snowing in the mountains where we're at one of our camp spots, and raining on the other one. So it's a Memorial Day trap for people camping right now.
Yep. It also never fails. Along with this storm system, it'll be you have pea size to I guess you could say nickel size hail.
Good. Glad the black yards mode. This will be great. But I didn't realize I was going to get hail. I haven't looked at radar. Am I looking at tornadic?
Nah, clouds are still a little too high. They're not that heavy. There's not really that much wind blowing over here on this side. I mean, normally we get the natural windshield, but this is coming from south, like away from the mountains.
That's why it's so warm and wet. I can feel it in my.
Annoying.
Yeah, we're doing our Dungeons and Dragons discussion.
I didn't mean to interrupt y'all. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna bounce out. I'm gonna go ahead and well, get on Star Wars and drink a beer.
I appreciate the heads up, though.
You have a good one.
It's a cool map. I'm actually looking for high points on it for archers.
So I think I'm gonna go for 4 level 3 like shadow ninjas.
4 level 3.
Yeah. So that way we can try to infiltrate the dark areas of the map.
I think I'm going to go 2. That way, there's 3 of us that can really do the move silently, archery thing at a high level. So accuracy and repeatability will be, the same. And if I have to spend money to equip them with repeating crossbows, I'm going to do it. Although I don't remember the rules of this kind of thing, I might be able to get those with. I thought about a bunch of level 1s, but I figured I'd just end up losing a couple of them.
That's the thing, like, do you want more units or do you want them to be skilled units?
Yep.
Can you check the text? That is still a thing we can do that I thought might put them at a disadvantage.
Check the text in Dungeon Crawl?
Yes.
Vex had a similar idea to that, except it involved having the enemy contract venereal diseases rather than addiction to drugs.
I don't think the Sisters of Hate would really like that idea. For obvious reasons.
That or spell. They're both the same, because, alchemy is a pretty good thing to use too. And you can craft those.
Yes, and I can craft a lot because of that prestige class I'm taking. Like a lot.
Well, what are you thinking for? Were you thinking 14 level 1s, or are you could actually? I wonder if you could do a 1 level 14 wizard to go with you.
Not a bad idea. I was thinking some kind of magic user. It seems like everyone else is picking things that are kind of similar to themselves.
Just a thought. We're in midline, but as you in magic, you have a real option there to have a super high level companion go with you. I don't know how that would work or if it would work, but it's just a thought.
Explosive vests for everyone.
14 level 1s with explosive vests.
That would work. That could work too.
Nothing clears out a battlefield like AoE. Well, see, now we really need to find that orphanage. All right, I'll be like right back. I'm gonna like say goodbye to my nephew.
All right.
Yeah, I wonder what Skaz is thinking about. What are you thinking about, Skaz?
Kamikaze stuff. But I'm still kind of seeing what
Thinking your
works.
mic's not working.
What now? Is this better? A little bit? Test. 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 Hello. 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 Test it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can hear you.
Hang on, let me reset my Discord. It's probably me. Hello? Skaz, you out there? Yes, I can.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Sorry about
Hi.
that. What are you thinking of doing, Skaz?
Just level the whole field. We'll steal the ship and just blow everything up.
None of us can use Dimension Door. We had tried to get a companion that can, but none of us can do it. Yeah, like we can get someone who can, but like us, like our characters can't do that, but we can get someone who can.
Well, you're
Why don't we just lure the zombie forest, that whole large conglomerate of zombies, back from where we just were, and just
Isn't
That's
that
on
on
an
an island?
island. That's on an island.
Yeah, I don't think even if the zombies can swim or walk along the water, it would take them a long time to get there. And I'm not gonna take an army of exploding zombies onto a ship. Yeah, but yeah, but
Just bring them
they're
to
hot, so they'll be
talk to
attacking
them.
us the whole time. But we were just talking about dimension door. What's the what's the limit on how far that can go?
I just go in the middle of the
Well, if we could somehow dimension door a whole bunch of zombies over there. And if we go back to that island because we're working on stuff, then I do want to meet that queen and tell her I gave her that item because I think she might be like an ally for us if I tell her, like, hey, yeah, I'm the one that let you have this infinite food source. You're welcome. Help us.
just dimension door that whole army of zombies back to that city.
Well, yeah, that's basically what I was saying. If the dimension door can go that far. But also, if we go back to the island to set it up, I do want to talk to her and meet her and try to make an ally.
You should do that.
Okay, what are the limits on dimension door, though? Yeah, that's not going to be far enough. It's like a whole island somewhere else.
What you need to do is make a transportation circle out of like some ruins or something. And since you're an alchemist, you might be able to do that.
I don't think that's really an alchemy thing. But if we're looking to like manufacture a magical object, do you think Artemis Rex might know something?
Possible. I mean, like my whole thing is like making inanimate objects into animate objects. So I mean, transporting
Yeah,
one
like
thing
he
to another
makes,
should be easy.
like I know he makes magical objects, and he probably knows other. Isn't he like in the Izzet, like a whole guild that knows other people that do this stuff? Like he might be a good contact for trying to find magic objects for this sort of thing. Yeah, but I don't. He's not willing to just teleport us places on command, I don't think. Um, kind of. I'm
Yeah, there's teleportation circle too.
level 7 sorcerer, or is it a 7th level spell, which is something completely different? Yeah, that's gonna be a 7th level spell, which I'd have to be much higher level to use. I can only do, like, 3rd or 4th level spells right now. I think 3rd. And I'm, sorcerer 5. I took 2 levels of a prestige class, which still advances my spell casting from sorcerer, but I'm technically not a 7th level sorcerer, but, like, I learn all the same spells I would. I mean, I'm sorcerer 5, alchemist savant 2. Okay, I think Grandpa left. So what I was saying is, my character can craft drugs with her alchemy skill at a -4 penalty, which is still workable. Like, and her prestige class lets her manufacture like just a shitload of alchemy items. So I think she could actually just make a bunch of drugs. She has a contact in the Sisters of Hate. She could get them to talk to the prostitutes in the area and like give them to the Red Hook's men and get them addicted. And I think that would like really like kind of destabilize the area and give them a lot of disadvantages. We cut they aren't prostitutes themselves, but they like protect women in the area, and that would include prostitutes. So like they would work with them and know them and protect like they're under their protection. So they would know them and be able to tell them, here's some drugs, give these to them for us. And I have a contact with them. So I think if I manufacture them and send them over there and get them addicted, then that might help. And the thing is you're right that some drugs do give bonuses, but like only when the drugs are active, and they give like penalties when they're going through withdrawal. So if I was able to like flood them with drugs and then just cut them all off and stop making the drugs, they'd be all going through withdrawal. And like probably fighting each other over whatever drugs are left, and it would just really mess them up, I think.
Do you have any drugs that does negative charisma and or wisdom modifiers?
I'll check. I know I linked to the drug page on Inzeria Informatica. Sorry, that's the poisons, not the.
It's all right. I mean, because like if we are able to drug them, then giving them negative charisma or any modifier like strength or any of the 5, I mean that would totally fuck them completely. Because once they hit negative 10 of any of those, they're dead. No veto, they're dead.
Okay, so
And then
that's
there's soldiers.
Yep. So there's the table for drugs and a link to the Book of Wild Darkness. And I had said that everything was in pages 41 to 44.
What did I just come back into?
I'm talking about manufacturing drugs and asking my contact in Sisters of Hate to get the Sisters of Hate to have the prostitutes in the town push them on Johns that work with the Red Hooks and try to get them addicted so that they'll be at a disadvantage when we attack.
And I was trying to get her to find ones that were like negative wisdom or charisma modifiers, so that when they are on the field, they are dumb shits, and it's just like look over there, bright light.
You guys could definitely buy. I don't know how much time you have to manufacture, but like just keep in mind the army is ready to march. Like they are wanting to move. So there's some time that you can delay, but
Skaz had a good question earlier. What was that question you had, Skaz?
I'll put it this way.
So why do they know that? Like, why are they attacking us? Like, how do they know to attack us?
How many chapters did you skip to get us here?
Nothing. So while you guys were on your way to get the last piece of the Demon Slayer Trinity, the army started amassing because the people that you've worked for started telling people that you would come back with it. So they were expecting you to come back with it. You did. and they're all fired up and ready to go take back Illtread Bay. Now, how Rakdos would have any insight onto your plans would be if they had spies in any of the Mardu clans, or if they were using any double agents inside Sisters of Hate that were acting like they were, something like that. But so far, you guys aren't aware of what they know exactly. And to be honest, they just know that they've seen shifting of things, but they're not aware that the Sisters of Hate are against them. They're not aware of the Forge Masters against them. And they have not seen any of these armies amassing because none of it's been completely amassed yet. A lot of it is like soldiers and supplies, and this is all on that peninsula. And you guys didn't necessarily have to go straight there. This is me explaining to you what is going on in that section of the world. So not all of these units are all in one spot yet. You know what I mean? So it's more of like a assembly, you know what I mean? And like at the capital of the Black Dragon where you guys were training, if you went back there, you would see all of those Black Dragon troops getting ready, you know what I mean, preparing for war, doing things. But it's not outwardly obvious that this is going on yet to the Rakdos. You're assuming there has to be. Like this camp, there's too many people that know about this for it to be completely secret to the Rakdos. So although they don't know when you're going to do it or how many, they are aware that something might happen and their guards are on higher alert. They do, you know what I mean? Like they're not completely defenseless, but they're also not shutting down operations. Oh my God.
A question.
What's up?
There's something called a permanent teleportation circle, and it lasts a year. It's a 5th level conjuration spell. And the question I had is the area that we were in previously had like a forest of zombies. Like you said, there were like tens of thousands of zombies. Is it plausible to do a teleportation circle with a beacon, like an auditory beacon, that they all get drawn into the circle and the circle ends in the city? So like all of the zombies from that forest basically teleport, because it says, at least by what I'm reading, it says that this permanent teleportation circle actually lasts a year. So essentially what we could do is just flood the city with tens of thousands of zombies to just clear the city, and then once everyone's dead, we just walk in without firing a shot.
You just
it would
still have to deal with the zombies when you're done.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, is there a way to get rid of the circle afterward? Because while that would definitely devastate them, it would be a year's worth of portal luring zombies onto the mainland for a year. Just a constant stream of zombies.
Support
Pretty simple.
You're gonna rebuke thousands of zombies.
Yeah, we'll put a circle of concentration right on top of the teleportation one, so when they spawn in, they just go boop.
I mean, they're exploding
Maybe.
zombies, so a lot of them will just blow up, right?
Yeah, but not tens of thousands of them, and this is gonna last a year.
Yeah, a year. We can go do other stuff. There's a big map.
Well,
But they're flooding onto the mainland for a year through this portal.
It's effective. It's a lot of cleanup, but it's effective. I mean, it's a plan.
It'll destroy our enemy, but I think it'll also destroy like everything else. Giant pain in the ass for us.
It's definitely something a necromancer would do.
Think of it this way. It gives us another portal back to the area to go talk to the bug queen that you want to go talk to too. And if all the zombies are going for the portal, then we don't have to worry about them.
They'll be on the mainland, swarming everybody from the Rakdos capital out. They're gonna spread all over the place.
So
Fine. We have
there's a
priests.
question. What is right next to this city? Do you guys remember the lava tubes? What's in that? Now,
Orphans?
it went cold because you guys turned off the furnace or whatever. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can put it back on
Our
and just
system
have all the tubes go in
them
there.
all go and have them all jump in.
It's a plan, and it's a plan that like we don't really have to do anything. We just kind of like
We
make
have
it
to
happen.
clean it up. Like that's like we'd have to deal with the we want to overtake the capital, not just
With your idea, whatever it is.
thing.
I'm not gonna argue with you about it.
we're not in an argument. This is just discussing our options and the potential consequences. So, I mean, it's okay. It is what it is. But we can keep, discussing plans. I just need to get more food really quick. But everything's still on the table for whatever you guys want. I don't know what the equivalent in D&D would be. Anyway, you guys keep coming up with ideas. I'll be right back, and then once I get done eating, then we can port over and buy and sell and do all that. But I'll be right back.
Forget we get a payout first.
To be fair, the portal idea is actually really viable because we can actually turn that off. It's not like, oh no, they're done and they're all over the place. It's more like you turn it off and they're fighting, and after everyone's dead, I mean, there's going to be a lot more combat folk to take off the riffraff.
If we can turn it off when we're done with it, then that's fine. But like, if this is going to be a portal for a year to basically endless zombie land pouring through for a year onto the mainland and spreading all over and destroying everything, allies included, then that's going to be a problem. Like,
You got to remember, it can last up to a year. It doesn't say that it will forever. I mean, for a year or anything. I mean, we can close it. There's more than enough magic in the game to stop portals and close them and shit. I mean, I'm assuming we have to make a shrine or something to make the portal, right? You just destroy it.
if
And
we have
what?
a way to stop it when we're done with it, then yeah, that's viable.
Easy, you just shut off the auditory beacon. It's not like they're all going to be attracted to a portal of teleportation and all go in there. You have to set up a auditory beacon to lure them into the portal. So you just shut off the auditory beacon. It's very simple.
Yeah,
It means we have to go through the portal that zombies are coming out of to get over to the island and shut it off, and then fight off zombies.
That's
that we'll
easy.
go back through again.
Yeah, you can just. I mean, you can go in there with a flying unit, and almost
camouflage.
all those zombies were not flying.
Level 3 spell for me, it's camouflage. Or level 2 spell.
And I think you guys are overthinking this. Whereas Skaz just puts 1 or 2 high-level necromancers right by the portal. They make them loyal to him. Skaz takes over the world, and it's all done. I don't see a problem.
I mean, we need more necromancers, but
I
yeah.
concur.
Too many zombies would swarm through for a couple of necromancers, even high-level ones, to grab them all.
Yeah, but that's like, okay, so the scenario is unfortunately like this. It's not like 1,000 billion zombies are gonna come through that. It's gonna be like maybe 10, maybe 20. And it's gonna be like we make a little bit of noise, Whiskey rolls the dice, 30 or 40 come in, and then does their shit, then we'll destroy the portal. It's not like it's gonna be like, zombie land where like billions and billions of like zombies for a year are gonna come in. Like, we gotta be more, hate to say this because it's imaginary, but we gotta be more realistic on that. Because yeah,
that, like,
and on top of that,
every day.
who's gonna be our enemies? They might have a like a level 20 wizard on their side that just knocks our spell out of, knocks the circle out. No zombies come through.
True. An anti-magic circle or bubble. I mean, they already have those. I mean, Artisan Rex makes machinery that creates anti-magic circles or bubbles or whatever the hell they are. So, I mean, it's not like it's the problem is it's doable, it's feasible, and the long-term damage isn't really that bad if we catch it right away.
Well,
You know,
I have a suggestion. So what Turs said actually makes a lot of sense. Because if you guys remember how fast those zombies were trickling from the woods, wasn't that bad if you guys didn't make too much noise. So it could be one phase of your attack where you guys hit them from the very front of the building with all these zombies to draw all of their cannon fire, all of their trebuchet fire, all of their ballista fire at this wall of zombies. You have somebody there to cast it and uncast it if it gets out of control, and book it like somebody on a flying mount sitting right above the portal. And that could be one part of the attack. You know what I mean? To just help add fucking bodies to the mix. It's not a bad idea, but I don't think it's an end game solution all by itself without it potentially backfiring really hard.
plus, who's to say they don't have a necromancer on their side that's like, say, a level 20 necromancer? I mean, that's a lot of anti-us shit, you know?
I have a feeling he's not going to throw a level 20 character at us at this point.
Well, if we all get a CR 17 and
I was gonna say what? This is a huge battle. You guys are fighting some insane shit. This is gonna be crazy.
There's what, 6 of us? That's
So as you look at this map, look at the brown road squares in the middle. I actually added the regular size. All of these squares are really 4 squares in size. So the roads are the ones that actually have the squares that are your normal 5-foot squares. So this is a big, big map. This is a big, big battle. You guys are going to have to take captains of the Red Hook ships. You're going to take the Blood Witches and the city guards. There's going to be 3 big factions versus the Mardu clans, the Forge Masters, and the Sisters of Hate. Plus, if they do have any information which you don't know for sure what they have, there's always support from the Rakdos capital itself, which isn't far away. So also being ready for a counterattack to retake the city. Plus the deal is that the Mardu samurais are supposed to hold control of the city when the battle's done, because you guys are getting half of all the profit the city generates henceforth from taking it. So destroying the infrastructure is a not necessarily a terrible thing, but you want to minimize it.
We want to take them over, not just scorch the earth and then nobody can have anything.
But I do like that portal plan. That's fucking disgusting and a really good idea.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just concerned it might be way too much backlash and cleanup.
I mean, you could say the same thing about any idea. I mean, if you decide to like infiltrate the other army with drugs, I mean, all of our troops could get addicted too.
The idea was that I have a contact in the Sisters of Hate who could explain to the people, don't take this, give it to them, and hopefully most of them would listen.
Because that works with drugs. Just tell people not to take them and they don't.
Well, one of the guys here wanted to give them STDs. Like, that's not going to backfire.
Well, anyway, point is there's lots of options on the table. Some of the disruption things in the background, like poisoning or diseasing them, is very possible. But with the time you have, it's not a full endgame solution. Could it deter or deteriorate some of their squads? Absolutely. Just be careful about poisoning the water, because it could poison the whole town. But I do like all the ideas that are pretty fucking hilarious.
So, my prestige class lets me make more alchemy items in a day than normal. And it says that my alchemy skill can be used to make drugs. Does that mean I can manufacture more drugs than usual in a day as well, but at the -4 penalty?
Yeah, same thing. It's all under alchemy. You know what's funny? Like, I had no idea what you guys were going to come up with for a plan, but I knew attacking head on was not going to be one of them.
Yeah, I think I brought up the drug idea months ago, and I've just been waiting for us to do the attack and for me to get high enough level to actually make the drugs and all that.
You said we're fighting 3 factions, right?
Yes. So you're fighting the Red Hooks, which is the guys who control the ships and the city, technically. The warlock captain, very high level dude. And his pet dragons. And then you've got the city guard and the blood witches. The blood witches are the ones that do scrying and are looking for Rakdos, the actual leader of the clan that was killed.
You can have dragons as pets.
And do they have a head as well? Like a head person?
Which one?
The Scryers?
Oh, let me look it up.
Actually have dragons as pets.
I'm pretty sure they're drakes. Sorry.
All right.
Wolf, dog, dragon, drake.
I'm just asking, so I know.
I'm sure there's draconic creatures that aren't as smart that you can keep as pets, though a sapient dragon would probably object.
All right, so Buzzlock, a member of the Blood Witches, is trying to make a name for himself with his first big assignment. He's trying to use the Rakdos clue stone to locate the Rakdos heart. The blood ritual, Rakdos blood cultists make ritual sacrifices in an attempt to grant a wish spell to find the lost Rakdos artifacts. The main one they're looking for is Rakdos' heart to summon him back from hell. The 4 blood crystals and the clue stone combined increase their sacrifice modifier by +5. Disable device check DC 20 is required to remove a stone or crystal from one of their sacrificial totems.
We just take the totem.
Well, that's them trying to summon Rakdos, which they haven't done yet. You would have heard about that if he was alive. So you have the Red Hook family. Sorry. So the red. Sorry, my puppy. It's a thing. So the Red Hook family of old warlocks who use the chaotic nature of the Rakdos to their advantage. They have worked their way up through the ranks and have gained quite a hold of many aspects of Rakdos cities. Lord Red Hook the Father, Admiral Red Hook of the Red Hook Fleet, the son of the father, and General Red Hook, the leader of the ground forces, is the other son. So there's a father and 2 sons. The father controls the city. The admirals in charge of the fleet and the generals in charge of the ground forces. Just 3 main captains of the Red Hooks that need to get dealt with.
Sounds like each one of them are getting a prostitute first.
So yeah, the info is here on the pink table. If you guys want to just look at it or see. And then there's the city guard, which is just regular Rakdos soldiers and grunts.
Okay, cool.
So if there's any units here on the table that represent the dudes you want to bring, tell me how many copies of them you want and I'll make them, and then you can save them off so that when we load into the next table, you can have your miniatures ready to go. If you haven't decided yet, that's fine. If you know what you want, you can pick them up now. Hold on, I'll be right back.
No. Just on who they were and some other stuff like that.
These are the 3 clans that we're going to be fighting against: the Blood Witches, the Red Hook family, and then the
City guard.
guard.
Generic soldiers and stuff.
Your normal type of cannon fodder. Whiskey, did we ever
What's
get
up?
around to making a flashbang?
I mean, that's something we can do before we get this started, if that's something that you wanted.
Yeah,
That
I
can
was
be
thinking
part of
for
the
group.
prep work for sure.
Because like I feel like we talked about it a while ago, and I'm pretty sure we had something, but I honestly could not find anything for it or anything about
I gotta
it.
go. I'll be right
Sounds like a puppy accident.
Be right back. I'm gonna get myself a new drink.